Welcome to the after party. Welcome to the after party. Did you bring some snacks and treats?
Yes, it did.
I hope you got me something to eat.
Maybe.
Welcome to the after party.
On Tuesday.
Coming to the after party.
Right now.
I've been waiting here all day to act like a fool this way. Welcome to the after party. Join us in the after party.
Right now.
Oh, chocolate and gabbing, maybe some microphone gabbing at the after party.
With DJ Airrick, Pagey, and...
Fantastic.
Oh no. No, it's not a remix. Somebody said, is it a remix? No, it's not a remix. Not a remix. Anyway, too funny. So welcome to the after party, as it says. I am going to, let's see if I can do this here, because I want to put myself on the large frame for this. I don't know if I should,
The large frame.
yeah, I don't know if I should do this or not, because I really, this is probably the most uncomfortable I've been in a while, because I used like glue for this. So there's like a combination of glue and gel and a bunch of other stuff here. But this is for this is for the holidays. If you guys saw my story or my Twitter feed, you'll know that I spent the last like 45 minutes getting ready for this. So let's go ahead and debut the Santa Claus. Here we go. The what is it? Eric Claus, I think they said. I don't know what they called it.
No, it's Daddy Airrick. Oh my god.
Oh my.
And I must say,
Christ.
there's a subtle flex with the Puma top.
That is.
I know that is a little flex.
It's
getting glitter everywhere. It's getting glitter everywhere. So
Oh my god. How the hell are you going to get rid of that?
That face, when the house goes on fire and you have to evacuate.
It's actually not that bad coming out, honestly. I mean, it comes out pretty easy. I've done glitter before for different stuff, but this is actually like thick, flaky glitter, and I'm gonna be like coughing it up for the next 4 or 5 hours. I know, because it's just it's bad. And my headphones, I had to like put them on the back because this hat is so tall. So it's just, yeah, this is going to be a fun stream. I actually was going to do something else, but then it was just too hot in here. It's actually warm in my house, and I'm like, I was going to do like a big like flash blanket. So anyway, yeah, it is what it is. So here we go. Because there's not going to be like there's not going to be an after party next week. I'm going to talk about that here in a second because of the holidays. So I figured I would go ahead and do something like Christmas related now. So Ho ho, I guess. Ho ho.
There's some hoes in the house.
Demonetized already. There we go.
Many hoes.
I'm joined tonight by Pagey, who is Earth 69, DJ Airrick, and the DC TV show, who is Felicity with Pageys face. So there we have it. We have those there.
Thought couldn't get hotter. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank God. As I said in response to a video of Eric, thank God November's over, because that photo.
Oh yes, that video on Twitter.
It's doing things.
Okay, I'm going to get into the super chats, but we'll make a couple announcements quickly. So again, no after party on the 22nd. I am going to do a live stream. It's going to be more of an AMA thing, and a few people want to come in and join me, but it's not going to be an official after party. It's just going to be an AMA. So if you guys want to come next Tuesday, look forward to that. The final Tuesday after party 2.0 is going to be on the 29th. So the week of the 29th, we'll have a big like goodbye celebration for the.
It's just going to be. It's going to be similar to like Fortnite when they changed the map,
with like a big explosion and stuff.
Are we going to have like a Green Arrow cameo?
Oh,
you know what we should have?
What?
And I think this could dictate the after party 3.0 going forward. Okay, so this might seem a bit how you're going Hunger Games. We have, so it's me and Eric here. We'll have Ben, and we have Canadagraphs. Ben and Canadagraphs fight to the death. Whoever wins gets to keep the spot on after party for the continuation.
Right.
And the other one, I guess, virtually dies on the after party. Maybe physically dies. We might have to get an assassin. I don't know. One of the two. I guess depends on what's going on. And the topic will be caramel fan fiction. That will be the debate. So Canadagraphs obviously has the advantage because of his stalking abilities of Melissa Benoist. So
there we go.
Look for it. End of January.
So the 29th will be the end of After Party 3.0. No, 2.0. I mean, 3.0 will begin. So After Party 2.0 ends on the 29th. After Party 3.0 will debut on the 6th of January, which is a Wednesday. And we're going to start it out with a flexible 5:30 p.m.
Oh, flexible.
I thought you were going to say a flex.
a flex, a flexible 5:30 p.m. We may, based on viewer feedback, we may adjust that time a little bit, but right now 5:30 is going to be the start time on the 6th, which is a Wednesday. And at that point, all of our reviews will be up, so we'll be able to literally, talk about everything pretty much on that first 3.0 after party. I'm getting an applause here for my dressing up as Santa. I wanted to do something fun, there's going to be a new theme, new format and everything for 3.0 after party.
As I said, it's pretty much Fortnite. It's pretty much Fortnite.
Is it? Yeah.
Well, your favorite game.
So another announcement, just so you guys know, watch out for Wonder Woman 84 spoilers. I have seen clips flying around everywhere already.
Dude, so those idiots at Joe Blow, they literally spoil the movie.
Yeah,
in their review. I didn't watch it, but I just saw people complaining about it.
Yeah,
and people don't care.
Why would you read a Joe Blow review? They're rubbish.
No, it was on Twitter. Like they just had their stuff on Twitter, and they spoiled it even on Twitter.
Gee,
like have people like the dot notes of what they think of it to get like retweets and stuff like that. Anyway,
and it's all spoilers, and there's clips floating around. Apparently, it's already been uploaded to the internet. So
it's in Indonesia right now. Sorry, I don't think it's in cinemas yet. I think it'll be in cinemas in a couple of hours in Indonesia.
Well, I know. So Tom is saying the first scene was revealed. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual clips. I've seen clips of the mall scenes and stuff like that showing up online. There's quite a few clips that are out that are not supposed to be out. So just be aware of that. Beware. Yeah, Ben has already seen it. Woo! And he says he hates it. So there you go. No, just kidding. Just kidding. All right, let's go back to our normal size frames here for the show. Now that I've done the big reveal, we have some super chats, and then we'll get into our topics. We have 3-ish topics. It's not a big deal if we don't get to every single detail, but I just wanted to have 3 topics to talk about. People are saying the Flash trailer is going to come out tomorrow, probably. I mean, it's always after the after party.
Pageys says.
That's
if it was going to come out, it would come out today. Because that's when the Flash is on.
I just got your messages, Ben. That's funny. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and answer these super chats before we get into this. Silhouetted Animator with the $2 super chat. Do you think the Shadow Board and Black Lightning is Cobra Cult? Now, unless there's some behind the scenes news about this, I don't know much about what they're going to be doing with the Shadow Board. I know that Lady Eve is back, and so they're going to be she's going to be involved with that. As far as being the Cobra Cult, I know very little about that group. I just remember one of the guys kind of looked like Serpentor from G.I. Joe. So don't know much about that. Or either of you guys, do you have anything on that at all with Black Lightning? Nope. No. I haven't heard anything else. So
unfortunately, I do not have anything to add at this current moment. djairrick, aka Airrick's Reloaded, aka Daddy Eric Santa.
Okay. Sheldor here with the $2 super chat. Will Falcon and the Winter Soldier connect to Black Widow, and are you excited? Well, yes, obviously I'm very excited. I talked about this on my podcast on last Thursday, and I'm really, really happy about this. And I do think everything's going to be connected. That's why Disney Plus is doing the Marvel shows now. That's why so many shows got canceled. They want direct power over the shows so they can tie them into the films. So I would not be surprised. Plus, that would explain some of the shifting of times for shows. Because the one thing that Disney or that Marvel's had a problem with in terms of their format during this whole pandemic is with things being so connected. If one thing gets delayed, then everything gets delayed. You can't release something just out there. I mean, Hellstrom was released, but it's already canceled. Newsflash: if you haven't watched season 1, they've already canceled that. Big surprise, right? I mean, I knew it was going to be canceled anyway, but yeah, it's a skippable series at this point. So there we go. Next super chat here is from Silhouetted Animator, another $5 super chat. Also, who is Lazarus Prime in Black Lightning? Was he responsible for Jefferson's resurrection? Only slightly alluded to in season 1. Was he once an agent of Ra's? So you're thinking of the name Lazarus Prime, Lazarus Pit, Ra's al Ghul. I vaguely remember season 1 of Black Lightning. It's been so long since I've seen it. I should probably go back and get prepared for this upcoming season. But as far as I know, with Lady Eve coming back, he's probably going to be connected to it in that way. Or if he's not, then he's going to be gone because of Crisis. So I don't know if we'll ever see that character again, or if he had any connection to Ra's. I guess it really depends if they're going to use that character in Batwoman or connect it somehow there. Connor Reed with a $20 super chat and a member of Team Airrick. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Sup guys, my question is, what do you think of the Arrowverse's overall storytelling? The way I'm writing my shows is overarching. Do you think the Arrowverse would have benefited from overarching rather than seasonal? Do you guys want to jump in on this first? I mean, I have my opinions, but if you guys want to throw out your thoughts on this.
By overarching, you mean like 2 seasons is one story?
Yeah, multi-season.
So like Black Lightning, kind of.
Yeah.
A bit.
Like Game of Thrones, that kind of stuff.
Basically. No,
I don't think so at all. It also doesn't help when there's like, sort of have to fit into a timeline as well. Like you got to sync up. Everyone has to do an overarching story at the same time when you have crossovers at hand. So you can't have Flash deciding to do season 1 and 2 as an overarching, then season 3 is his own thing, and then another show's doing it out of sync. They have to be in sync in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
If you want to have that universe. And I'd rather have the connected universe than this overarching thing.
Ben keeps trying to surprise us, whatever he's wearing there, whatever he's got on. I feel like the problem with this way of storytelling in the Arrowverse is, unless a showrunner is going to be signed on from start to finish, the story's going to not be what it should have. You know what I mean? Like they would change. Like, for example, if you look at Supergirl season 3, they lost the brains behind their story, and that was in 1 season. And look what happened. I mean, it got super, super messy. So I think if you have the possibility of a showrunner or somebody involved with the major storytelling leave the project, then it kind of changes where that story is going to go. So I don't know if I'd like that. It really depends on how much control and how much time that they're going to guarantee for the people in the creative to do it. But thank you so much for your super chat. Let's see. We had a couple more here. Make sure I get them all. Next one is from Sheldor. Wait, no. Is there multiple questions here? Did I miss a bunch of questions? Or is it just saying
question 9?
Yeah, I don't see 1 through 8. Okay. Yeah, I just scroll back up. I don't see it. Okay. Anyway, Flash season 7 arc predictions. Episodes 1 through 3 is the mirror wrap up. Episodes 4 through 9 is the new arc. Episodes 10 through 18 new arc thoughts. Also saw the opening 3 minutes. But epic AF. The opening 3 minutes of Wonder Woman. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed that. I did watch that one because that was actually a legit thing that came from the studios. I don't see any problems with your predictions here. I mean, I think this sounds totally logical. You may see a few more episodes in that second arc that you're listing, like maybe go to 11 or 12, but I don't know. It really just depends on where they want to go. I'm excited to see what they do with this. We're going to talk about Flash as well in just a bit. Scott with a $4.99 super chat. Merry Christmas, my friends. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. I think the Supergirl villain is Emerald Empress and the Fatal Five are coming. I'm also glad Diggle is back. So we're going to talk about the Supergirl villain. Ben did a video on this, so he's talked about it on one of his videos already, but we're going to dive into it a little bit here. And I think everybody's glad that Diggle's going to be back. I don't think there's I don't really know anybody that dislikes Diggle as a character, so I'd be very surprised. Have you guys ever ran anybody that's like, I hate Diggle, he's my least favorite character? I don't think that's ever happened. Oh, wow. There we go.
Yeah, he hates him. Totally. Only Felicity fan.
Scott with the $2 super chat. Will there be a big crossover with Diggle? I can pretty much guarantee there will not be. During this filming process right here, there's just no way to do a large scale crossover. So if they, well, I say they will not be this season. We may see one next season if they decide to bring Diggle back. They may actually wrap up Diggle's story. You know, you never know. You never know what they're going to do. Staggervore with the $1.99 super chat. What do you think of the new Superman suit? Well, I did a whole video about it and we talked about it briefly here. I really like it. I think it's a solid upgrade. Pagey's done a video on it. I think Ben did a video on it as well. I think I saw you do a video on the suit, correct? Yeah. So I'm trying to think. There was like 20 videos. But I think everybody's pretty much on board saying they really like it. I mean, there's small things that I think everybody would like to change on it. I think the only thing for me is the size of the emblem is a little bit weird. But everything else I really like, and I love the design of it. Do you guys have any other thoughts on it? Have you changed your opinions on the suit?
In what way? I just wanted to get you mid-sip.
No, you guys, everybody seems to like it, so I'm just curious.
No, nothing really. Like, I think it looks good. I even like it more seeing it from the set photos.
It's bright.
Whether it be Canadagraphs or just Jarred. Get Jarred, I think was the website. Get Jarred Junior, Get Jarred Senior, I think it was called anyway. So those two websites, those set photos were quite good.
Okay. What about you, Ben?
No, yeah, I agree. The set photos would definitely. I really like the poster. All
Today,
right.
Wow.
Right, I'm echoing. I'm hearing myself.
Laura here.
I like the suit. That's all.
Okay. There we go. Laura E, a Team Airrick member. Did you hear the rumor that Disney Plus and Hulu are possibly merger has one? Yeah, I mean the premise is they're going to move the adult content onto Disney Plus, make it one service. You pay a little bit extra, you get extra controls for children and stuff like that. I mean, we'll see what happens. I like Hulu the way it is.
What is it on Disney Plus in America? Is it just going to have a Hulu tab, or do you have that Stars thing?
I think it's going to be a Stars thing.
Okay,
they may actually change it to Hulu. I don't know.
Because Stars is what they do internationally for Disney Plus, where for some reason they can't launch Disney Plus. It's just called Stars. No idea the legalities around that.
Name.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be on. I think American, Australian, the UK, or Europe in general. It's gonna have that star thing, which
that's weird because there's a mate,
I'll tell you what, that blows Disney Plus up even more. They were already ridiculous. They already had like 80, 90 million. They'll even go up more because it's you don't got this whole stigma. Oh, it's just for kids. Like that's gonna have all the adult stuff. Hello Boobies, like that's pretty much they could call the section. Wow. Hello Boobies, potential ass as well. So.
Sheldor here said, sorry for the confusion. I accidentally added 9. Okay. Thank you so much for the super chat for clearing that up. I do appreciate it. Connor, a Team Airrick member, and a $10 super chat. I personally think the Arrowverse should cut down its episodes, stop having filler, and do more of 2 stories in one season. Arrow season 2 or Flash season 6. Do more of the 2 stories. Oh, okay. Here's the thing. I think anything that comes out now has the possibility of being one of the smaller, like shorter seasons. But they make so much money off of ad revenue with longer seasons. Networks make so much extra money off of that. That's why The Flash has as many episodes as it does. It isn't just because they want to give them more stories. They want to get more ad revenue out of The Flash, which is why you end up with so many filler episodes. Could you ever see them cutting The Flash down? Like that's probably the biggest one in terms of like the amount of episodes they normally give out. Could you see them ever doing that? I don't think they would.
I don't think so. I would say it's really unlikely.
Well, after this season, I'll probably go back up to 22.
Yeah.
But like, you can't have both. You can't cut it down and then have just 2 stories. It's one or the other. Mm-hmm. So it's either you cut it down to 16 and it's 1 story, or you keep it 22 and it's 2 stories.
Yeah. Gary with the 199 super chat, is The Flash getting delayed later than February? Well, Gary, we're getting closer and closer to January, and unless they have another major break between now and I would say the first or second week in January, there's no chance
stopping. So will they go on the Christmas break?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like an unexpected break is what I mean. Let's see. I think we're caught up. We are caught up. So with that being said, we're going to jump into 20 minutes into the broadcast. We're going to jump in to our first topic, which is a story that Ben thinks that he broke to this outlet. A new villain for Supergirl season 6. Supergirl season 6 to feature female alien in major villain role, and it says it's an exclusive for the direct. It's an exclusive for them. It says the direct has exclusively learned that the CW is casting an actress to play a major villain, codenamed Rosemary, in Supergirl season 6. The series is searching for an actress of open ethnicity within the age range of 20s to 30s for the role. Our sources indicate that Rosemary is a quirky yet powerful alien witch who can shift charismatically upbeat to murderously rageful. She will be bent on revenge against Kara and her allies. Rosemary will be a season regular in season 6, seemingly serving as lead villain of the show's final season. Now, I do want to point this out. This isn't like a confirmation, so don't take it that way. This is literally one of those things where it could be a big, absolute nothing at the end of the day. So I just want to throw that out there first before we get into this. But Ben, you've talked about this story already. What from this? What do you know of this that they're not revealing here? Because they're saying this is an exclusive, but you probably got more information on this, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, so the direct, I don't know who they are, and I mean, we'll have to wait and see if this turns out to be true. But basically, I did a video a while ago, like maybe 3 weeks ago or something, where I talked about this character called Rosemary that they definitely were casting on the show. Obviously, it could be a codename, like it says in the article, but from what they're saying in this article, you could get all of this information off of the actual audition video. And I did. So when I did that, I don't think it was spread around online. That was like the first time because I got sent it. And like 5 people had viewed the audition at that time. But then I linked it in my description. So I got a feeling, by the way, if someone watches the video, you could make an article up with these descriptions like, they're looking for an actress of open ethnicity because the person auditioning was not white or was not one specific race. So, that definitely could be taken away. Also, she was about 20 to 30 years old and her name was definitely Rosemary. And in the scene, it was a very long scene. And she kind of went from a kind of quirky nature to a kind of more evil nature towards the end of the interview. The audition. So quirky yet powerful alien witch. Again, they could have took that off of just the audition, and so the charismatically upbeat to murderously rageful definitely could be taken. And the only different thing is she will be bent on revenge against Kara and her allies. That wasn't in the audition. So again, series regular, I don't know. It seemed like they were just casting a Vancouver local, from what I saw. So I didn't presume she was going to be like a series regular or anything like that. So from what I know, they could be just going off of this audition video. But at the same time, maybe they do have sources that are telling them, oh, this person is going to be the main villain. But from the audition, it didn't really seem like it. It seemed like a villain of the week.
Okay.
But she definitely had magic powers, though.
What do you think, Pagey?
Well, I was just going to chime in. Like they could have got it from one of the casting websites, which sometimes they're on there, sometimes they're not. It really just depends what the role is. But the fact that there was an audition tape means would be one of those roles that they put on those casting sites. The other thing is that they might have found either, that there was that audition tape. Usually they don't put them up there until after the role's decided because it can actually affect whether you get the role or not. So if there's a audition up there, that person didn't get the role, but they put it up there just for like backlog, like a back catalog. Oh, you can watch this audition while you're auditioning for Supergirl and stuff like that, and it helps them. So the role was probably already cast, probably, or at least that girl was it a female role? Yeah, female. Was told, no. You're not getting it, but yeah.
I mean,
so
I'm pretty sure she wasn't picked.
So what they might when they say our sources, they might have just asked and was like, "Can you just send us the thing?" Because you didn't get the role, so can you just send us the thing.
Right.
They could have just done that if they wanted to.
Laura here says, could this be the witch from Leviathan last season? I mean, it could be. I don't know how much they're going to actually play into the upcoming season. We're not really sure. Also, they did a space witch thing already, kind of with the Rain storyline. So I don't really know. I mean, they weren't witches per se, but it was kind of like they were sort of in that same vein. So I don't know.
I don't know if it's witches, because it seemed more like she was a magic user, like Zatanna or someone.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I don't think she's Zatanna because it seemed she was more villainous.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't seem like a witch to me from what I saw with the audition. But again,
Ben, I can ask, how many witches have you met in your life?
Oh, many.
Oh, I forgot. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. Yeah, there you go. Why are you forgetting?
Hogwarts, remember? Hogwarts. Canadagraphs says hashtag release Ben's audition tape. There we
hashtag
go.
No.
I wish
hashtag Pagey has to do a WAP on the stream.
I would pay $50 to see that. I am so annoyed I was off the internet for that 20 minutes that it was on his channel. People saw it and did not download it. Do you understand?
I think Canadagraphs saw it.
Do you understand the lack of brain energy to not have downloaded? If I see something that I know is top tier meme and you're just unsure whether it's going to be deleted or not, you download it. It's not even a second guess. It's first freaking instinct.
I can't get away with anything. Everything that I do gets downloaded, so I can't get away with anything at all.
Well, you're doing it in this stream. Like everyone's going to take this Santa Airrick. It's flexing with the Puma top. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god. Well, that's
actually I would have preferred if that was a twerk along though.
Silhouetted animator with a $5 super chat. Villain revenge in the Arrowverse equals never met you, but I hate you because something insignificant you did ruin my life. Hashtag petty AF. Do you guys agree with that statement or no? I mean, I don't think every villain's like that, right?
Who is it? I've never met you, but I hate you because something
Avatar, but he did meet him.
Well, he was him.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Is it like Cicada? That's it.
I don't know. I can't really think of one that fits into this into this category, so I don't know. Not sure. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Stepful. Look at that.
I like the fit.
Yeah.
Jinx.
We'll see. Thank you for the super chat though. 3 Dubs says Prometheus. No, Prometheus was deep in it. Like, wasn't it family related, right? His father. So yeah, it was more than just insignificant to him.
It wasn't like, yo, you stole my coffee order from Jitters. And then I'm lactose intolerant. I got full dairy and I pooed my pants walking down the street. It wasn't that.
What do you like? Here's my thing. What do you consider insignificant? Insignificant would be like road rage, right? Or something like that. Like, I think if it's anything related to family or immediate friends or something like that, that's not really, to me, that's not insignificant. But
and even then with Cicada, I mentioned Cicada. Cicada didn't go after Barry at first. So the Flash went after Cicada, and then
Rival said that description was literally Prometheus. Everybody's saying that was Prometheus. I didn't take Prometheus as like,
I don't know. Killing someone's dad doesn't seem that insignificant. I mean,
oh, it's pretty insignificant.
Yeah, he says. Okay, he goes into further here. He goes, it was insignificant. Prometheus. He knew his dad was going to disown him, and he didn't give a shit. So,
yeah, but it was obviously a bit of a loose unit anyway. So he just needed someone to trigger him. Yeah, and then he has a target. So.
I don't know. It's really easy from the outside in to say that someone doesn't care if a family member disowns them, but we don't really truly know how someone feels about that.
That could just be all a charade.
Yeah. Let's see. Gary with 1-9 super chat. I was about to get yours, Gary, when you said answer it. I was literally going back up. Are the rest of the shows getting delayed? No, I don't think anything's getting delayed. I think the only show that even had a problem was The Flash, and they're filming again already. So. And I think The Flash should be on like episode 8 or 9 by now? 9 probably. So yeah.
They've been filming for 10 weeks because Daniel Panabag was like, it's on in 10 weeks, but we've been filming for about 10 weeks. So
yeah.
Including the delay, that'd be like episode 7 or 8, probably.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so it is the halfway mark, and that means it's time for Pageys Pick, you guys. Pageys Pick. So here we go. Let's get into it.
Okay, so following on from last week, just because I thought it was a bit of an easy transition, and also there's a bit of a story time mixed in here, so that always spices everything up. Okay, and it's a bit of a what the fuck. Oh, right. There's demonetization.
Yeah, it's already been demonetized. I said ho 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 at the beginning. It's already been demonetized. So
hoes in this house.
Many hoes.
Okay, so following on from best Australian movies last week, I'm sure Ben tuned in and was encapsulated and got some great recommendations. Actually, quickly,
I watched them all week.
Not Ben, Eric. Quick review of Snowtown.
My quick review of it. That's what you want. It was. I don't. How do I even talk about this? It was like. I don't want to say the word because I think I'll probably get even more demonetized. It was like someone being very indulgent about watching someone else getting basically killed. Like it was like scene after scene was just like the most awful people you could imagine having conversations about awful things they'll do to people and then doing those awful things to people. Like there was not a lot of levity in that film. It was really very down and dark. And I honestly, unless you can handle like total dark for like 2 hours, like a really dark, dreary, horrific, true story, stay away from that. It's on YouTube. That's where I watched it. So
yeah, it's definitely there's no light moments. You're not laughing really at anything.
No, I think at the very beginning you get a couple of like funny scenes, and then then
it just gets darker and darker and darker.
Once they introduce the main like bad guy in the movie, that's it. After that, it doesn't. It just goes down and down and down. And the thing is that I wanted to ask you about this. Like, so Snowtown, is it an actual place or is it just based on where the barrels were stored? Is that what?
Okay, so. All the murders.
Adelaide is where it is.
So all the murders took place, except one murder. All the murders except one of them took place in the Adelaide suburbs in like a bit of a low economy area, and they were just people that were trying to avoid getting work, so they were stealing in certain ways. And their first murder came, which I'm sure is in the movie. It is in the movie when they kill the guy and get his like ATM card, and that's how they get their movie. Like they get their money and stuff like that. But they store all the bodies in the barrels, and as you saw, but that's just the normal thing. And then they go to a town that's real called Snowtown, and no one lives there. It's in like the country in South Australia, and put it in the bank vault. That bank vault's still there. You can rent that. You can rent and live in the house that connects to the bank, and everything like that. And like people, it's messed up. You can look it up. There's videos probably on YouTube where people go to Snowtown.
Yeah.
And like this bank vault, it's like the exact same. Matt, it only happened like 20 years ago as well. Like it's like I think it was like 1999 or 2000 happened.
Yeah, I was very shocked that the people are still around. They're still locked up, and I was like,
and one of them tried to get out of prison a couple of years ago. That they appealed their sentence. I'm like, hold on.
So here's the thing, though. Like I was under the impression that because to me that area that they lived in reminded me of like what a slum area would be like in terms of like low rent housing and stuff like that,
like housing commissions and stuff like that.
Right. So I didn't realize that, to be honest, that those places even existed in Australia. I thought it was kind of a thing that we knew about here in the US because of our fluctuating economy, but I didn't realize that you guys had an area like that. So I was kind of shocked to see that, honestly. But yeah. It was pretty wild, and it doesn't take place in a lot of places. Like you're kind of in this one like neighborhood most of the time. So it's not a spoiler because it's a real thing, but they were killing people that they knew. Yeah,
like they weren't.
Which is crazy that happened so easily. I'm actually kind of shocked. Anyway, it's called Snowtown. If you want to watch it, it's on YouTube in several different languages. I tried to find it other places, but then I was like, well, I'm just going to look on YouTube, and it's there. So
hold on. Is it the same director? Oh, by the way, the director that made Snowtown is making a movie about the guy that committed the last mass shooting in Australia.
Yeah.
So
just so you guys know, before you go and watch that, I was going to say the only reason I even watched it is because Pagey mentioned it. I wasn't really sure what I was in for until about 30 minutes into the movie. But if you're going to watch it, just know that it is about a real series of crimes that happen.
Yeah, it's not fiction. It's very real. They try to make it as real as possible. Yeah. But Ben, so you know the Babadook?
Yeah.
The main actress in that is married to the guy that made Snowtown.
Yeah, I know the director. I want to watch this film. It looks interesting.
You'd probably like it, Ben. It's a very good movie. It's just really dark.
Yeah. I like dark films.
I'm expecting a review and discussing film, Eric.
I will actually tell everybody in the chat, unless you are into like really dark, like real reality, like, documentaries or whatever, there's no point in watching it. Like, it's really, really rough. Like, after I got done with it, I had to like decompress and watch Family Guy episodes and stuff. It was pretty bad. So.
Wait, Pagey, have you seen the Babadook?
Yeah, I shat my pants.
Yeah. You're like I can imagine you're like the kid, right, in real life.
Maybe.
Australian people will like, right?
Haley,
no, forensic file viewing will not prepare you for this movie. I don't think there's anything you
can watch. There is forensic files type things of it. If you just type in like Snowtown murders,
there's documentaries on it that are literally documentaries, but the movie Snowtown is like it's a movie about the event. It's not a documentary, but it's done in a perspective of like if you didn't know it was real, you'd be like, well, this is a really messed up story or whatever, but it is a real story. So anyway, yeah. So is that all of Pageys Pick, or do you have?
No, I haven't even started Pageys Pick.
Oh god, get into it! Come on, Pageys Pick.
Okay. So so last week was Best Australian Movie, so I went to Best Australian TV Shows.
Okay.
To start off, I just chucked in if there's any fellow
Australian Idol. Australian Idol, number 10.
No, that's number 6, so it didn't come in. So number 5 is Russell Coit's All Aussie Adventures. It's on 10 All Access. You could actually be able to watch it on your.
I can watch it. I got a Play 10 account.
Yeah, it's on 10 Play, whatever it's called. Hilarious, very, very funny. Next up, Underbelly. I don't like all of them, but I do like some of the series. So Underbelly is about like each season. They haven't done it for ages. Like, it was very popular like 10 or 15 years ago when they started, or like 10 years ago. But it's like it goes over like actual like the ganglands and stuff like that, and certain like crime eras and stuff like that. So it goes into like Melbourne gangland wars. And have you ever heard of King's Cross in Australia?
That's copied from England.
Well, it's definitely not copied in regards to what goes there. King's Cross is like the, I guess like you call it like the refer to something like Las Vegas, but a bit sleazier and stuff like that. It's where all like the clubs are and stuff like that. There's a big Coca-Cola sign there. Anyway, it sort of connects to Oxford Street. Actually, yeah, Oxford Street sort of goes near there. Anyway,
Oxford Street.
But here's the true story. So the Snowtown the thing wasn't like the story time. The story time is it has nothing to do with Underbelly, but it sort of connects to Snowtown, like crime investigation in Australia. But there's an episode, you can look it up if you want to. It would probably be on YouTube, and it's called The Body in the Bag. Don't know why I'm laughing, because it's messed up.
I'll be avoiding that, but go ahead.
Okay, so the true story around this is that I went to the high school that this guy went to. Okay, so what happened is that he met this girl. They started dating, and then he's like obsessive and stuff like that. She found another boyfriend online. He was actually American. This was like back in like 2002, 2003. Anyway, she dumped him. He got triggered and was like, "Ugh!" Ended up killing her, stuffing her body in a cricket bag and stuffing it in the storage area in her apartment. And she was there for ages. And his cover was that he was actually at the centenary music concert for my high school back in 2003. So I wasn't at the high school yet, but that's where his cover was. And the music teacher that was still there when I went to high school blew his cover and went, no, he got here like at this time. So he wasn't there. So yeah, he wasn't there for like 2 hours before. So that music teacher blew his cover and he got caught and was like the murderer, and they caught him on CCTV buying the cricket bag. Like,
don't give it away. I want to watch it. Like, you're giving away all the.
Oh, I can still watch it and just yeah. Anyway, and then the weirdest thing is that we were so curious when we learned about this that we went through the old yearbooks and we found photos of him and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And you look at him and go, yeah, you probably would kill someone and put their body in a cricket bag.
Pretty scary. I don't even want to think about that.
Anyway.
How the hell is the body fitting in a cricket bag?
No. I don't want to know the answer to that.
Ever played Twister, Ben? Ever played?
So go next one. What is the next one?
Okay. Number 3, Round the Twist. That's very light and it's very fun. Ever heard of Round the Twist? It has nothing to do with Twister. I used to watch it when I came home from school every day. It's got a good theme song.
Play it.
No.
I won't play it because have you ever felt like this?
No.
Strange things happen. Are you going? Round the Twist.
Okay.
That's a little a cappella version of Round the Twist theme song.
Right.
It has such episodes as I think it's Turbo Willy, where the guy's doodle becomes like a propeller and he can swim really fast. This is a kid's show, by the way, in Australia. So he has Propeller Willy, aka Doodle.
Okay.
What was the other one that I can remember off the top of my head? It was like a dragon or some crap in like a cave. Anyway,
all right,
very funny.
Number two.
Well, number 2, it was going to be a Chris Lilly show, and I had to narrow it down. It's like, which is my favorite Chris Lilly show? And it came down to probably Jemay or Summer Heights High, and I put Summer Heights High because Summer Heights High you have Jemay, but then you also have Jonah, and then you have Mr. G. It's just I don't know how many times I've rewatched it, and this came out when I was in like year 8 at high school, so all the teachers copped whatever Jonah in the show would say. So
I agree, Tom.
Puck you miss, dictation, all that stuff was very prevalent. Even our year master at school was going around saying it. That's how much of a pop culture phenomenon it was in Australia. Anyway,
number one is
it's Kath and Kim. I'd be stupid not to put Kath and Kim.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I love that show. Okay, well, I totally agree with you. And actually, Kath and Kim is on American. I think it's on Hulu. If you want to watch it, you guys. So if you're in America and you want to see that, go over.
I'll tell you what, though, I did see a clip from that. Please, like me, and it was like, you've knocked the Crockenbush. It was like,
yeah, watch that. That's a good show. I like the main guy on that, Josh. He's good.
Well, he has another show in America now, doesn't he?
Yeah. I've watched that one too, but that's only got one season so far. So
yeah.
Okay. All right. So those are
So there's your weekend homework. Mm-hmm. How do you stuff a body in a cricket bag? There's you can research that, figure out the physics, the dynamics, the dimensions. Maybe what size cricket bag? Do you need an adult size one, or can you go for a junior size one?
Okay, we're gonna answer Gary's super chat quickly, and then I'm gonna give a shout out to my Team Airrick members. Gary with a 199 super chat. Are you guys mad at me, Gary? The answer will always be
yes.
No. No, I'm not mad at you. So no, the answer to that is no, not mad. All right, so this is going to be a quick 30-second jump away for Team Airrick members. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Flash and Warner Brothers. That should be a lot of fun. All right, we'll be back in, well, let me take this down first. I always get yelled at for that. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back. I think did the mic unmute? Yeah, there it did. Okay, just to make sure we're back. Thank you guys again so much for the support and being members of the Team Airrick feature. I guess we should what?
The latest thing in the chat.
What
Christmas themed after party, everyone. Pagey, Merry Deathmas.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about some stuff related to the Flash, and I think Pagey You have a whole video on this. I watched it earlier. But I do
like and subscribe.
I liked it, but I was already subscribed, so I didn't have to.
Oh.
Should I unsubscribe and then subscribe again? Is that how that works? I'm not sure.
I don't know. You might lose your cool long-term subscriber milestone, so maybe don't do that.
All right, yeah, don't do that. All right, so we're going to talk about the Flash here, and this comes directly from Twitter. I'm going to share this from Twitter, simply because you had some pictures in your video, Pagey, so we're going to talk about these quickly. So this is from YRV Shoots, and there's 3 photos here. There's a lot more. If you go over to their Twitter account, there's like probably another 6 or 7 photos of this, but I want to talk about this because this is kind of interesting. This is filming where Smallville used to film, correct?
Yeah, it's like the main street of Smallville that you always see. Like,
yeah, let me click on that the photo here, which is this one. That was the Talon, right? Wasn't that where the Talon was originally?
Yeah, like the cafe sort of hangout.
So yeah, a fake blockbuster. Right.
So this is going to be, obviously, at least as far as I can tell, unless we're completely off the mark here, this is going to be a flashback scene, right? This is going to be back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that it says 1998, Eric, insinuates that it will be 1998.
Sure. Well, no, I'm assuming that this is not going to be like a memory. This is going to be like something. We're going to travel back to 98, right? It's not just going to be.
Oh, yeah, that's the curiosity. Is it a flashback or is it time travel?
Yeah. So I'm thinking, I mean, time travel seems to be not off the table anymore. I mean, we had one season where it was, but doesn't seem like it is anymore. And so this is going, and this hails back, and Paige, you went into much more detail in your video about this, but this goes all the way back to season 3 of The Flash with a conversation that Barry had with Barry. And it ties into Masonville, which is another photo here, Masonville towing. And so we know that's going to tie into this. So this is like this is a deep dive. I mean, I would say, obviously, Eric Wallace has done digging back into the history of the show to pull this out, if we're going to do something this closely related to that conversation that was had in Flash season 3. So how do you feel about this? Do you think this is going to be a good thing? Time traveling back, maybe going back in time? Does this mean Savitar is going to show up? I mean, there's so many possibilities for this. I would say Savitar showing up is probably on the low end of possibilities, whereas I think the time travel thing is probably at the top end of that. And I see a few people saying R.I.P. young Barry Allen actor like Anthony here, but I think he wasn't the same person. It wasn't the same person.
He's been recast like season 3.
Okay.
Like he was only young Barry, I think, for season 1 and 2.
Okay.
Logan Williams. So the other young Barry's was in a season 3 episode. I think it was in 2 season 3 episodes and maybe it was 1 season 3 and then 2 season 4 episodes.
There's some more photos up here actually with a little bit better shot here. Here's the chair there on set. A car.
I'm assuming that's Barry's parents' car.
Like an old station wagon. I wouldn't be surprised. There's another shot of the Talon and the blockbuster there with Space Jam, which, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, I mean, that could be like a subtle advertising thing there, since we know there's a rebooted Space Jam coming out or something. Either reboot or
spoiler alert, LeBron's in this episode. He just comes out and just dunks, just in the background, and just walks away.
He dunks on Barry.
Yeah.
So if you want to see more of those photos, head over to YVR Shoots on Twitter. And I'm really look, we've got double. It's Pagey meeting Pagey here. Pagey and Pagey.
Where's other Pagey? It's just djairrick and djairrick.
I'm Earth-69 djairrick, aka amateur porn model.
Oh, okay. So there we go. Demonetized.
No, it's already demonetized like 50 minutes ago.
Scott here says, 49 Super Chat, you think we'll see Diggle interact with Clark and Ryan and Sarah? Like, why is he going to all the different cities? Will it end with Green Lantern? So we've talked about this a couple times before. I don't think we're going to see like a big Green Lantern moment on all the individual shows. I think if they're going to reveal him as Green Lantern, it'll either happen early on and it'll just be Green Lantern, or it'll happen right before he leaves and we'll get a scene with him with the ring or something like that. I feel like with Green Lantern being such a big thing with HBO Max, it would be very weird for them to also use Green Lantern in the Arrowverse right now, especially on shows that aren't going to move to HBO Max. So I don't know. What do you think? Any thoughts on this at all?
What do you mean? Like all at
like,
once?
do you think what do you think in terms of this Green Lantern thing? I mean, I haven't seen any news come out about it. So
I don't know about the Green Lantern thing, like it's flip of the coin, but the other stuff I'd assume it'd be weird if he was in the episodes and didn't meet the characters.
Yeah, he'll meet them. I just don't think we're going to see a big group gathering.
Do you think he's going to show up in the crossover they said they're doing with Superman, Lois, and Batwoman? Because he hasn't met like the new Batwoman and stuff. So how are they going to explain it? I don't know.
Well, it's hard to know if that's even happening anymore because they're so out of sync. Like Batwoman's like would be on like episode 9 or if not 9. Superman Lois is on like 2 or 3.
Yeah, just like I've said with so many things, everything they've said, we don't know for sure if it's all going to happen.
What happens if they just switch Superman and Lois for another show? Like they could totally do that.
Anyone they could do is Flash.
Yeah.
Even Flash is out of sync. It's on the same thing. Unless you say you're swapping Batwoman and, but they wouldn't do it because the only reason they're doing it is for HBO Max. That's where there's those 2 shows. So you couldn't really move it.
What I guess the 2 shows most in sync is like the Flash and Supergirl. I know Supergirl needs to go back and shoot some scenes, but pretty much.
Well, the 2 shows in sync the most are Flash and Superman and Lois. They start on the same week.
Yeah, but the Flash is ahead in episodes, right?
No, it'd be on the same. They start the same week.
No, but the pilot took forever.
You're talking about Superman and Lois?
Oh, it doesn't matter when they're filming in regards to it matters on like
air schedule.
Yeah, he's talking chronologically when the episodes air, not when.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about So, like Batwoman's like a 5 weeks or something before or even 6 weeks, I think, before Flash and Superman and Lois.
This is interesting. I don't know. Have you guys heard this audio yet? I'm not going to play it on here, but I just didn't know if you.
I don't know why it's such a topic. I think he's 100% right to blow up at them. So I don't know why people are like questioning. Oh,
anyone who is mad at him for what he said, like you're completely not understanding how important.
Yeah, the fact he had the balls. The fact he had the balls to just. Granted, I don't think he did it in front of everyone. I think he pretty much pulled them to the side and then.
It seemed like he was in a room with just a couple people.
Yeah.
So.
But the fact he did that and it shows how serious he is. He's just like trying to get a paycheck and like try and stretch it as long as he wants to get the movie done.
Do you guys want the TLDR? I can tell you quickly. I mean,
it's pretty much they weren't social distancing,
right? Yeah. So basically, you saw this too, Ben, right? You heard the little interaction here. Okay, so I'm not going to say it's pretty latent with like profanity. So go on Twitter, type in Tom Cruise. There's a link. There's probably several of them around. But basically what happened was people on the set were not following guidelines for the COVID restrictions, and it was putting people at risk. So the conversation picks up with him and these individuals, at least it seemed like a couple of them were there with him, where he's literally going off on them, saying that he's on the phone with the studios, he's on the phone with the producers. Every day they're trying to make money to keep people, making money for their families so that they can put food on their table, so they can pay for their school, so they can just live day to day. And people who are just ignoring regulations are putting all of that at risk. And he's not going to put up with it. He was like, you will not be here. Basically, you're going to get fired if you don't follow these regulations. So that's really what was happening. And here's the thing, guys, regardless of how it sounded and what he was saying, he was 100% right in that. So whether you agree or disagree with how he projected himself in that moment, the restrictions are very important.
The thing I've seen people saying, oh, he shouldn't have yelled at them. I was like, mate, when your parents tell you to do something, are you more likely to listen to that? You go, okay, Eric, don't eat sand. Or they're going to, when they yell at you and they make you go, oh shit, you're going to listen to them, more focused on the yelling and probably more likely to not do it again if they yell the hell out of you, especially with what Tom Cruise was doing there. He was getting it done so it doesn't happen again, because that second time it happens, that could be the cause of the COVID outbreak.
Not only that, let's be honest here. This isn't the first month that we've been dealing with this. This is like almost a year now we've been dealing with this. If people are not listening to regulations now while they're working on set with other people, they have to be yelled at this point.
Yeah. It's not like it's a rookie arrow at the beginning and you're just getting used to it. Like, you've been living in the world. And like, I think Mission Impossible 7 was like one of the first production movie ones to start going again, because Tom Cruise like made sure and like worked with everyone, like the production team, the studio and everything, to make sure they had the correct procedures and everything like that.
Tom, as far as we know, it was a combination of not wearing their mask the whole time and not social distancing. I
think the main thing was that they were like standing next to each other, like, and they were people that should not have been standing next to each other.
Because right now with filming, let's go even deeper than this. Right now with filming, everybody's doing this pod thing where you're assigned to certain areas, and that's the way shows are doing it. And these people were not from the same pods. They were from two different units kind of chilling and hanging out, and that's not supposed to happen. So that's basically it. Like, he's just telling these people in a very, very, very forceful way that there are people depending on them. And it's not just the health of the people on set. We're talking about people that are back home that are waiting to make money off of this so they can have their living, because it's not just, and this is another thing people tend to forget about filming. It's not just about the big name actors. There are so many people on set and people that work in post-production and people that work back in the studios and stuff like that. All these people depend on the people on set following the rules and guidelines. Like, it's literally out of their hands. So for him to be mad about them not following the guidelines, he's looking out for the little people. And I say that with the utmost respect. He's looking out for the people that are not out there on the screens, that are not the big name people that can afford to have 5 and 6 houses. He's really just looking out for the people that have to work the 9 to 5 and have to do the stuff, in regards to the studio work and stuff like that. So I absolutely agree with him. He was very forceful with them, but I think at this point, if you don't get it, you need to be yelled at. I mean, that's kind of the way it is.
I completely agree.
So yeah, Ben, what are your thoughts on this? And then we'll move on to the next topic. I mean, what do you think about the whole Tom Cruise? Like, you completely agree. Do you have anything else to add, or?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, most of you guys know I go to university and I do film, and we've been on film sets and stuff. And like, anytime anyone is close to each other, like, it has to be absolutely necessary. Like, the camera guy has to go, change the camera or whatever like that, pass it off to another guy. And if you break those rules, someone probably is going to scream at you. And I think Tom did a very good thing. Like, it's totally reasonable. Yeah. And I think it has to be harsh.
Yeah. This is guys, I don't even know, like, I don't know the details of where this even came from. Like, honestly, I don't know. I've just seen people sharing it. So I don't know if it's like, the Christian Bale thing or the thing with what you call it, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. I don't know how this worked out, but I will say that he, in my opinion, he did the right thing. So, okay. Anthony here with a $2 super chat and a Team Airrick member. What if the CW built a new suit for Diggle Green Lantern? Well, I mean, I'm guessing they would. I don't think he'd be wearing like the spandex green thing. They'd probably give him something very CW, which would be like something more tactical looking. I don't think they go down the road of like, the Ryan Reynolds CGI Green Lantern suit. But if we see something, I want them to actually give him something new. I don't want like a combo of anything old. I think they would actually get pretty, raked across the coals if they just stuck him in a green jacket and some green pants or something. So, all right. Anyway, let's move on to the next exciting topic, and this will be the last one. I'm sure you guys, I've had several people that have asked me about this, and I know it's going to be a question, so I went ahead and set it aside as a separate topic. And this deals with the film side of it, which is why I'm glad that Ben's with us tonight, because he can give a little insight on his thoughts on this. From Deadline, Ray Fisher says, we're on our way as Justice League probe continues with remedial action by tight-lipped Warner Media. Now, they're saying it continues. As far as I know, maybe I'm wrong here, it's done.
Yeah, it says the probe is
done. Which is why when Pagey and I talked about this the other day, I said that Ray's tweets confused me because they made it seem like there was more stuff to happen, but there's not more stuff that's going to happen. So just to give you guys a little context on this in case you didn't know, it says Warner Media's investigation, and keep in mind Warner Media, now this is the portion of the company that Ray wanted to be in charge of the investigation. So these are the guys that he wanted to be in charge of all this. Into Justice League movie is concluded and remedial action has been taken. The AT&T owned company said in late Friday's news dump, beyond the statement from Global Communications Chief Christy Habegger, Warner Media would not give any more details on what that action is or who it was directed towards. I hear high-level Warner Brothers executives on the motion picture side were blindsided by the announcement and oblivious to who was specifically receiving punishment in the situation. The entire Justice League Fisher incident is completely handled by the parent company. So basically, they're saying we're done. Action has been taken, and that is it. That's it. No accountability whatsoever, which is literally what Ray was pushing for here. Accountability. So no one is being held accountable for this. They literally just gave a PR statement, and they said, "That's it. We're done. We're done with this," and it's been taken care of. We'll talk about what Ray said here in a moment. What are your initial thoughts on this, guys? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that anything has actually happened? I feel like if anything's happened, it's very low key.
Well, and the thing that sort of just confused me when not confused me, but I was like, oh, okay, was the term remedial action. Because when I think remedial or remedial action in general, and I'm thinking like in regards to the workplace of a film set or just what Warner Brothers would do, it makes me just think they added a step in. If you have an issue on set, this is the person you go to, because what Ray tweeted out whenever it was that, I don't know if it was because he was jumping stages or if there just was not stages for him to actually even jump. So this was just the path he took. But apparently he was going straight to Jeff Johns and complaining. Right. So was there, or bringing up issues, I'll say that. So were there steps if not, then maybe that's the remedial action is.
You mean like adding someone to fill in that void, basically,
or putting things in place that prevent anything like this happening again. And I'm not saying like drama. I'm just saying like someone feeling that they weren't being listened to,
right?
Because that could be their remedial action. Because the thing is that Ray alludes to the fact that Joss Whedon leaving that show is due to this, but it's like, well, wouldn't they?
It's not.
Wouldn't they publicly say that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Accountability. Like someone, if you're pushing for someone to be held accountable and responsible for it, then that needs to be the statement. Like if somebody is let go and then not held accountable, then there was no victory. And I feel like Ray wanted someone to be held accountable. He wanted for them to admit that something happened and name names. And that's not what happened here. At least I'm saying that's the way Ray made it seem all the way up until his tweets after this happened, which we'll talk about that in a moment. But I got the impression that Ray wanted someone held accountable, and this doesn't address that at all. So
it just, because when I first saw the Joss Whedon thing, I was like, okay, because this is due to the Ray Fisher, this Justice League investigation. And then when I went to the article and stuff, I had like a statement from Whedon, and had nothing to do with it. Like it was just stepping down. And then I saw on like I think it might have been the same day that a fan site for the Nevers. I know, can you be a fan site if the show isn't out yet? Anyway, that was a fan site for it. And they posted that the show had finished filming like 3 weeks before the Joss Whedon thing even came out. So it's confusing. The only thing I said at the time, I think I might have even said in the stream, is that I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because maybe they can't actually officially say anything until the investigation's over. So maybe that was like and it could be some like mass statement. And even when this came out, because this came out on Friday in America, and it was like this weird thing where they just dumped it right at the end of the day on Friday, right at the end of the working week. And we were talking about it, and it's like, okay, well, surely they say something on Monday.
And we didn't see anything. Nothing else is
even if it's just even if it's just an actual statement in more detail saying like, oh yeah, we realize this, and then we're going to place these things and we're going to put these things in place to prevent this from happening in the future, blah, blah, blah. But nothing came out.
Right.
And surely it's not that hard of a thing. And even when it got to today, I thought maybe something would have come out. Mate, we still got a couple of hours left until I think you start working there. So maybe something might pop out or something like that. Who knows? But the thing is weird. I think it's a bit suspect as well, because I'm not too sure exactly what's going on behind the scenes to quote unquote conclude everything that's going on here. But like, I'm trying to remember if we mentioned it on this stream. I think we did, because I think it was like a fairly big thing that happened, or at least someone might have asked about it whenever it happened. But when Ray mentioned Toby Emmerich and said he was having like racist conversations on set, I think we might have mentioned that could have been the point where maybe he went too far and he was probably never going to get exactly what he wanted from it.
Right.
Because how can you prove that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always had this I was just thinking to myself, like, would all these people just be openly in a corridor just having racist conversations?
Yeah. And Ben, I'll let you speak in a moment, but I just want to throw this out there also. I've always said that I don't necessarily think that either Ray or WB or any of the people involved, they were ever giving the full story. Like, I don't think anybody's hands were clean.
Oh, no.
I think that something happened.
No one would be telling the 100% truth in this, because with anything, there's one side, another side, two people's stories or two group stories, and then in the middle, there's the truth. No one was ever the truth was never going to be revealed.
Right.
It was always going to be just stories back and forth. And one was going to maybe topple over the other, or maybe they're all both going to meet in the middle, and no one was going to win. But yeah.
What do you think about this announcement, Ben? Any comments on this?
I'm pretty
since you work in the whole studio world, I didn't know if you have ever seen anything.
Well, it's interesting because, well, I actually know someone who was working on the show, The Nevers, and I was told that it finished, because as soon as I saw the report, I was like, I messaged the person. I was like, what happened? Like, what's going on? And they were like, I had no idea about this, and we finished filming like a few weeks ago. So that's a bit weird. So maybe he was asked to step away from the show, I would say. Maybe if he's finished the show, why would he step down after he finishes the show? So that's a bit strange.
Yeah.
And then the statement is very vague. I don't know what to think. And then, like you guys said, Ray's actual statement after
we're gonna go into
seemed
that
like there was more to happen.
Right.
So what actually happened, I have no idea. And it's just very confusing, because in the statement, he's saying it has led to remedial actions. Some we've seen and some is still to come. But like, what is the action,
Right. Okay. So let's move on here to the next part. It goes, he talked about Joss Whedon's conduct on set. And he, talks about him parting ways with the Nevers, which we've kind of figured out that doesn't have anything to do with this. But Ray was heavily pushing that it did have something to do with it, with yet again, no real information or proof of it, just him saying it. And so let's read Ray's tweets so we can get through these, give our opinion about this, and then hopefully dust this story away and lock it away so we don't have to talk about it anymore, unless Warner Brothers has something more to add to this, which I don't think they will. So I think this is going to be the end of it, guys. And let me tell you why. This is what Ray had to say on Twitter following this announcement. He goes, "The following was relayed to me on behalf of at Warner Media at 5 p.m. EST today. The investigation of Justice League is now complete." All right. So that's number one. He says it's complete, meaning it's done. There's nothing else left to do. The investigation is over, and that's it. Which, by the way, I talked about this with Pagey. At the very beginning of all this, Ray tried to throw shade at the investigation team, like doubting their competence in this and their allegiance with Warner Brothers or Warner Media. And we never really went back to that. So I don't know what happened with that portion of the story, because that happened probably maybe like 2 months ago. And he said that he didn't trust them and that they were interviewing the wrong people. And we never went back to that. So I don't know what actually happened there. But anyway, that team, he tried to throw shade at them. He said it's led to remedial action. Some we've seen and some is still to come. Now that's his little addition there. What have we seen, guys? I'm asking you, like, what have we seen in the chat? What remedial action have we seen? Because it's not Joss getting fired from the Nevers. What have we seen so far? There's nothing. There's been no remedial action.
The only thing I think of was did someone get in that, that Warner Brothers, Warner Media restructuring? Was there someone in there that was involved?
Even so, it wasn't made apparent in this article. So.
Because the thing is that, and I know this is slightly getting sidetracked, but one person that's never been brought up in any of this, which I'm shocked by, has never been named in any of this because they're the reason that all this happened. Kevin Sujihara.
Oh yeah, he kind of walked away. He walked away from this unscathed at all.
He is literally the reason that all this happened. He and some executives, but he was the one that pushed it. He's the reason that Justice League had to come out at the end of 2017. They wanted to delay it. I think it was like 8 months or something. It was something like that. They wanted to delay it till I think September or October. It might have been like a couple months before Aquaman.
Right.
And he wanted to push it to get his bonus because there was that merger coming in from AT&T, which could have changed everything where that bonus might not have happened and everything like that. So he merged. The meme I saw was, I can't remember, I think it's from Glee, and it's with that the PE teacher, and it's like, I'm going to create the most toxic work environment ever, says Kevin Sujihara. Because how could it not have been? You're pushing it. You're pushing a director who was notorious for not wanting people to meddle with his work and not being told what to do, and probably on the daily he's being told to push. So Jane Lynch, that's the actress in Glee. I'm shocked.
What was Kevin Sujihara's official title when he left the company? Was it president?
He was president of I think
of the film division, right?
What Toby Emmerich is, I think, now.
Right. Okay.
I
didn't know the full range of his title. I knew it was president of one of the divisions.
So Kevin Sujihara was pretty much the person that pushed Zack Snyder out. And pushed, because the thing is I don't think Zack Snyder probably comes back following the time he took off anyway. Even if they delayed the film, they probably still keep waiting on. But it wouldn't have been a crunch time to film pretty much an entire movie in 3 months with only about a $30-35 million budget for a Justice League movie. Pretty insane when you think about it. So it's pretty insane, but I'm shocked he hasn't been mentioned at all. And no one ever mentions him. Yeah,
and the other thing is that it says here, and some still yet to come. So I'm assuming that what we will see, because remember in the article, guys, they said that the high-up executives in the movie divisions didn't even know that they had finished the investigation. Because no one had seen anything happen. So when it says that some is still to come, I'm assuming if we get any announcements moving forward about this, it will be something like, we have, enacted this process for, complaining about things on set, and we've got a mediator for this and blah, blah, blah. It'll be something along those lines, because if no one is gone now and they have not been approached about it, then nobody's going to be fired, basically. I mean,
if the fact the executives didn't know means that Toby Emmerich and Walter Hamada probably got off with nothing.
Right.
Even though Walter Hamada would have just got charged with not believing Ray at first, but let's be honest, I think most people didn't with the tweets anyway. So probably the majority there.
And go ahead.
And then Toby Emmerich, I think the only thing against him is based off that thing where apparently he's having racist conversations in public in a hallway with a group of people.
Yeah.
And I think it was the only time he was. There might have been. Was there another time he was mentioned? I think that was it, but there might have been something else with him.
Let's talk about this before we jump into his next statement here. Getting rid of Jeff Johns, if you look mathematically at it, and I think Pagey and I had a conversation about this, it would cost them more money to get rid of Jeff Johns than it would to keep him around.
Well, it's also important to remember Jeff Johns doesn't work as a Warner Brothers employee. He's contracted. It's the same with John Berg in this situation was the untouchable person. Nothing really could have happened to him. And I think that's why he said the booyah comment, because I think he knew that he was untouchable, because he's an employee for a random production company that's just affiliated with some Warner Brothers things. They don't have a Warner Brothers contract. They do stuff for Paramount, Universal and stuff. So, and the guy that owns it is I think his friend. But funnily enough, the guy that owns it is also friends with Snyder.
Yeah.
So I'm really confused by it all, what's even going on with the whole thing. But so with Jeff Johns, he has the Mad Ghost stuff, which has stakes in. Well, it's the big thing with Stargirl, which is also with Berlanti, but then he's also got stakes in Batwoman, Superman and Lois, the upcoming Green Lantern show. So there would have been contracts signed there. And it's an important thing to remember. they can't really do anything because all they can ask is him to, like, I guess, step down from a creative role, but he would still own it.
Yeah.
So he would still be getting money. So I don't even know.
They have to pay him. It doesn't matter.
I think the only thing that could happen with Jeff Johns, I might be completely wrong here, but I think the only thing that happened with Jeff Johns is that he can't write comics anymore for DC. And to be honest, I don't think he would ridiculously care. I think he's done it for long enough where he wouldn't mind retiring from it.
I also want to point out, it's not just people losing their jobs, it's people being held morally accountable, which is something that Ray has pushed really hard for. And that has not happened here at all. So anyway, let's move on.
The whole thing is that, like, people are saying, like, oh, we want all the mad ghosts. So people aren't asking just for Jeff Johns to get fired. If, like, because you got to remember, a lot of the Snyder Cult, they just want, they target Jeff Johns.
Mm-hmm.
In saying that they want Jeff Johns fired, they are asking for, like, what? Like, probably like 50 to 100 people to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Anywhere in that region, if not more. So it's pretty insane when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as hell to see what this quote unquote remedial action is, because if it was firing people, isn't that drastic action?
Yeah.
Remedial to me sounds about healing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about, even if it's like all these people have to come together, which I don't think is going to happen, but something along those lines, or it's like pretty much you have to take a course with HR, just know how to deal with complaints.
Mm. Yeah.
That could be what it is. I'm curious to hear what it's about.
Yeah. And then it goes on here. He goes, and this statement, talking about the Warner Brothers statement, which truly belongs to all who participated in the investigation. Warner Media appreciates you having the courage to come forward and assist the company with creating an inclusive and equitable work environment for its employees and partners, which, again, this goes back to what you were saying, Pagey. Remedial seems like,
and that just sounds like a typical PR statement.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it doesn't even, it honestly looks like it's taken from a template.
Yeah.
Doesn't even look like it was personally written.
And this is where it gets really confusing. It goes, there are still conversations that need to be had and resolutions that need to be found. What?
I didn't get that because the investigation's apparently over.
It's over.
Yeah, so I don't understand
that. The investigation is done. So what resolutions are we looking for? Like, he wanted them to finish the investigation and hold people accountable. The investigation is done. No one is being held accountable. There's nothing else. Now, yes, you could say there's conversations to be had. Maybe the remedial part of it is he's going to be involved in helping. Maybe I don't think they would ask him to do this, but maybe someone's involved with helping, like, to make it so this doesn't happen in the future. And that's fine. That's fine. I think you should have a team in place that is designed to basically help out with this or whatever. But I don't think it's going to be him. I don't think he would be the one involved with that. And then it goes, thank you for your support and encouragement on this journey. We are on our way, more soon. And then he ends it with accountability over entertainment when he literally just bended the knee to Warner Brothers here.
Yeah, he literally did.
So to me, this looks like, at least in this last part of this tweet, that is him sort of deflecting from having any real answers for the people that have supported him this far. Because if you don't have an answer to the people who have said, we want to hear what you have to say, this is going to end and you're going to tell us everything that's happened and people are going to be held accountable. Ben, what do you think? What do you think about this?
I don't even know. It's strange.
It's confusing, right? I'm not the only one confused.
I am confused. It's like he's saying that his accountability over entertainment thing is working, his whole kind of mission. But, like, I'm not saying that I don't believe him. I believe that something went down on the set. And
I've never said that I don't believe him. I've always said I question the things that have happened. Like, I think that some of them were true and some of them seem like the context of them is not there. So
yeah. And I think it's a bit weird that, like you said, he's literally, like, as he's doing Game of Thrones, he literally bended the knee towards Warner Brothers when it doesn't seem like much action was taken that we can see.
Right.
Like, whatever it is.
The only thing I can think of is that Ray was looking for a W in any way, shape, or form, and this is probably the W that he saw most likely to happen, just because it's just this big business structure and everything like that. It's just, even if stuff happened, it's just hard to cut ties, if that makes sense. But also the accountability over entertainment, it's a crock of shit. It's a crock of shit because he worked with Amber Heard and his best mate Zack Snyder brought her back for reshoot. So it's a crock of shit. Let's be completely honest.
Yeah. Not only that, but if it is in fact accountability over entertainment, then there's no way he would sit by and let them walk away from this without naming names. I mean, there's no way he would be so quiet about this. He has been, so let's put this in perspective before we wrap up the story with Ray Fisher here. He has been vocally butting heads with Warner Brothers for the last half a year over all of this. And never once has he just so easily allowed them. I mean, he's even gone after the president of Warner Brothers. Like he's never let them walk away from something without getting what he wants out of it. I feel like, again, when I said bend the knee, I mean that in the sense that he is literally saying, okay, we're good. We're good. I literally got nothing that I wanted out of this, but okay. By doing this now, he's pretty much, at least in a lot of ways, basically said he's going to shut up. Do you think he signed another NDA, guys? Do you think he's under an NDA?
Well, I think a lot of people over this investigation would have had to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
I think that obviously they probably would have been the investigators mainly, but if there were certain statements and stuff that people didn't like, so let's just say it's Ray, for example. If it was, let's just say it was Ben. Ben was a witness or something on set. He was working on set. He can't just say, "Oh, Ben Archibald Rolfe said this or witnessed this." So that's a part of the NDA. He can't just reveal, because then Ben's might not have wanted his name chucked in the mess, but then all of a sudden Ray mentions it or something like that. So an NDA would cover everything around that. So there could be examples of that, but I don't know if an NDA can necessarily cover, like if Ray wanted to give an example of something that happened to him personally. Just like Ben could come out and say something happened to him personally if he wanted to, but he can't recite what happened to someone else.
Right. Which is one of the big bombshells that Ray had, was that he heard from someone that this had happened or something like that, which is really weird. Introverted Unicorn says, did it stop him the first time with the NDA? It didn't. In reality, it wouldn't have stopped him, but his excuse for not giving us information was, I'm under an NDA. That's what he kept saying. That was his excuse, which wouldn't cover any of the abuse that he's complained about, to be completely honest. Canadagraphs here says, wrapping this up about Ray, he's talking about it again in 2 weeks. I will be very surprised. I absolutely will be very surprised if Ray says anything else about this, unless he just talks about something that Warner Brothers puts out. Like, this is what we're doing to help with this and that and the other, and this is how we're being more inclusive. I don't think I see him going after anybody else, because I believe that Ray still wants to work for Warner Brothers. Now, he probably wants to be in the Flash movie. We know he's going to be in the Snyder Cut. What is he going to do outside of that? I don't know. And who knows what his career is going to be like, 5 years from now. So that's kind of how I feel about that. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us. I think it's time for dad jokes and any last minute super chats. If you guys want to super chat me before we wrap everything up and support the channel, you can. We'll answer those. But let's go ahead and get into our dad jokes. Do you have any dad jokes, Ben? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you go first as this week's guest and give your dad joke?
Right. Okay. What happened to the fly on the toilet seat?
It ate poo.
It got peed off.
Show the WAP. Tom wants you to show the WAP video.
Show the WAP. It's on Twitter, right? Yeah. Well, I can't because it's got music in it.
Let's be honest, the stream's demonetized anyway.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want to get claimed by a record label. If you want to see it, I retweeted it on Twitter. Head over there. Let's see. Hold on. Someone had a super chat that I somehow missed. Let me see. It was Anthony Beltry before I do my joke. Oh, he had a $2 super chat. He said, I heard Ray is not in the Flash movie. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think you can say this is that Cyborg is probably a very expendable character in the script. Or expendable part of the script. He could be there, he could not be there, and it wouldn't change the movie.
Right.
That's probably the same with a couple of characters, but his character would be a part of that.
All right. My dad joke. Here we go. Which one? I memorized these earlier. Why was Santa's helper sad?
Because he was an elf.
No, he had low elf esteem. Was that a dad joke, a bad joke, a sad joke, a glad joke? Which one was it? So let us know in the chat. All right, Paige, you sure go.
Chinese takeout, $10. Tip a couple extra dollars, $4 or something. Getting home to find out, they forgot part of your order. Riceless.
All right, there we go.
No comment.
Bad joke, whatever joke, Pagey joke, whatever you want to call it. All right, so it's your go, Ben. Your second one. We do two each.
If you're American in the living room, what are you in the bathroom?
Wet room.
European.
Really? I got glitter all. Look at this. This is going to be fun when I go to walk in the other room and I have just glitter everywhere. My whole seat is full of glitter. This is crazy. 1,000% Pagey just gave up on dad jokes. Wow. Called out. All right, here's mine. What do you get as a Christmas gift for someone who has everything?
A brick?
A burglar alarm. I mean, they got everything. Somebody's going to break in and take it, right? Bad joke, dad joke. Let us know in the chat. All right, Paige, you wrap this up. Come on now.
Okay, I got a bit of a cracker. It's a bit X-rated as well, but we're already demonetized. It doesn't matter.
All right.
What sex position makes the ugliest babies?
I'm not answering this one. I'm not even going to take a guess. Go ahead. What is it?
Ask your mothers. And he shoots and he scores and he never misses.
Is that a dad joke or is that just an insult? I feel like that's just an insult.
Yeah,
it's everything. It's all of the above.
I don't know about that one. Look, see, Ben jumped up into the. Yeah, there we go.
Kobe from downtown. Yeah. Swish. Oh, he gets it.
Yeah.
Oh. Woo.
All right. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching this on Twitch, I know we got a couple Twitch viewers. If you're watching this on Twitch and you missed any of this at all, head over to my YouTube channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, and you can watch it on playback in just a bit. It might take a while. It's probably going to get blocked in like 20 different places, so I'm going to have to wait for that to happen. There's no fairy bread because I don't have any. I couldn't eat it. I would get glitter in my mouth.
Every week there's an excuse. Next week we'll be like, I took my hands off.
Well, we're not going to be on next week. Next week we're taking a break.
We're going to be on Q&A.
Yeah, but you don't want me to do the bread when you're not here, right? So
I don't have to help you chew.
Maybe I could do it on the final after party 2.0. Maybe that would be a good way to wrap it up. Like have the fairy bread.
Well, then it better be a smorgasbord of trying things then.
I could do it. You know what? I got 2 weeks. I could come up with something, I'm sure. Anyway, so thank you guys so much. Make sure you give a like, come back and leave a comment later on. I would appreciate it. I want to thank Ben for being here, Paige Borg, who is now Paige Canary. Wait, is that what is
Iris?
Oh, it's Iris. Okay. I couldn't tell. It's cropped in a weird way. And Earth 69, djairrick over here.
I'm off to my audition right now.
So anyway, that's pretty much it, you guys. If you come back and you missed anything earlier, I'm going to put the timestamps in. This one should be a lot easier than last week. So there we go. The after party's not going away, Sean. You'll have to come back and see. I talked about it at the beginning of the video. I will
this
explain
was supposed to be a Christmas one. Turned out to be just a demonetized one.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, that was pretty much. So, all right, guys, we're out, and I will catch you guys next time. See you in a few.